Boo. Anyway, yeah, I'm just kind of. I've been kind of like floating around. I've been incredibly sick, by the way. I've gotten better today, obviously, so yeah, I'm here. I had pneumonia, so it kind of fucking killed me nearly. I'm okay. I do me, you know that. And like, I can understand why my friends freaked out because they kind of walked in and found me passed out on the ground and struggling to breathe. So now I'm at their house where they can keep an eye on me because I escaped hospital. I fucking hate hospitals, mate. Like, there's a next level of absolute fucking nothing but hatred for it. Okay. Probably going to hit some people in their fucking buttholes with the views I've got, but that's kind of just how I am. It is what it is. I found this random I don't know how to put it politely. I don't do polite or politically correct. And if you hear, fuck your feelings. We are who we are. Deal with it. Just gotta bring something up because, yeah, it's kind of interesting these days. Because I hope this dude doesn't strike me. I'm not monetized, dude, so don't get mad at me and fucking strike me for it. I'm just gonna kind of put it up so that people can have a look. And here we go. I'm probably
conversation between a Muslim woman and a Christian man. The Muslim woman strongly accuses the Christian man of criticizing Prophet Muhammad through the lens of Western ideologies.
What the fuck is ringing in the back?
She argues that whatever Muhammad did was permitted by Allah and insists that Muslims don't question Allah's actions, since doing so could lead to doubt.
No, that's not the actual
In response,
one I was watching.
the Christian man asks her some very important and challenging questions.
Give me a second. That's the picture on there was the chick that I wanted to talk about, but she's not actually right there. Give me a second, I've got to find her. I thought I had it. Obviously didn't. So give me 2 seconds.
Absolute oneness is more in line with God's nature than the Trinity.
And even more scary if God can change to become a relationship.
That's not the one either. I had them all pulled up, but for some reason they all jumped down at the same time, and it's kind of really fucked up. Let's see. Here we go. This guy's good, by the way. And what he does, he's very fucking good.
God is that bloodthirsty.
Not this
I don't
dude.
think that's a God I want to believe in.
Then don't believe in it. Those of us who cannot speak Arabic are not able to understand God's clearest revelation. How tragic is that?
Let me continue. You're getting like pissed and angry. Cutting me.
You keep cutting me off.
No, you're accusing him. Of course he's going to respond. You don't want to convert us?
You don't want to convert us?
No.
You don't want me to become Muslim?
Honestly, I really don't care.
Cliff Knechtley is a Christian apologist who has spent decades answering real questions from real people on university campuses across America. In this video, he begins a respectful conversation with a Muslim man about forgiveness, salvation, and whose truth is more valid. But partway through, something unexpected happens. Another Muslim steps in, the tone shifts, and the conversation quickly becomes heated as they accuse Cliff of lying and disrespecting their faith. As the whole conversation unfolds, I'll be giving insights along the way to help you understand the deeper truth behind it. And as you watch, remember that this isn't just about a heated debate. What is truly at stake is a path that leads to the one true God and eternal life.
How is it morally okay for someone else to be dying for my sins? Why can't God forgive me on my own?
God can forgive you. God can forgive you. But God has chosen to be just, to be the judge, and the penalty for sin is death. Someone's got to pay the death penalty for my sin.
Why?
Why? Because God has said, when I devalue you by cheating you, lying to you, stealing from you, that is really wrong. And the consequence of my doing that to you is I deserve death. Now, either I'm going to pay that death penalty or the judge is going to take my place. And that's what Christ claimed to be doing, to be the judge, God, taking my place, giving his life for me.
God is that bloodthirsty. I don't think that's a God I want to believe in.
Then don't believe in him.
Why shouldn't I pay?
Good. And according to Christ, you do pay. Or you accept Christ's payment when he died on a cross for what you did wrong, for what I did wrong.
How is that fair to Christ?
How is it fair to Christ?
Towards all?
Pardon?
Isn't God just towards all?
Is God, I'm sorry?
Just towards all.
Yes, God is just. That's his character. His character is just. When I sin against you, what I'm saying is you don't have value. I can use you. I can lie to you. I can cheat you. I can steal from you. And that's a statement. You're not very valuable. So when I do that kind of thing to you, not only am I devaluing you, denigrating you, but I'm also devaluing God and saying, you didn't do a good job when you made this guy.
But you're still avoiding the question that am I not demeaning God by saying that he had to die for my sins? Can
No.
he forgive me and have his mercy on his own?
No, the reason you're not demeaning God is because God chose to be just, consistently just, as you pointed out. But then the question is, how does he forgive? Is forgiveness simply excusing wrong? Is forgiveness overlooking wrong? Is forgiveness acting like, oh, boys will be boys, Nazis will be Nazis, Hamas will be Hamas, Israel will be Israel? It's all relative.
Forgiveness is God's mercy.
Well, how does God forgive?
God forgives because God can see what's in our hearts. When we stand in front of God and seek forgiveness, God knows how genuine we are. God knows whether or not we intend to go back to that. That's the basis of God's forgiveness. That if you stand in front of God and you're asking God alone and you're accepting him and you're seeking that forgiveness, God can see inside your heart. And you may go back to that sin, but God saw what was in your heart and he chose to forgive you. Whether or not he chooses to forgive you, he knows your sincerity. Because God doesn't need anyone paying. God's mercy is enough. God understands me. He knows me. He's closer to me than anyone else can in terms of understanding.
Sorry, I'm back.
Excuse me, sir. How old were you when you made your first
Hang
million?
on.
What is this
Gotta-
We're trying to get advice for the younger generation.
I made my first million last year, actually.
What line of work are you in?
I'm in sales.
Okay, what's the best advice you can give someone that's in?
Many Muslims, including the one in this
I just need to be absolutely clear on this, right? Like, Islam's beliefs, etc., are like next level. They're violence and hate. If you read it as like it's recently, okay, a guy, their own family cut his hand off because he stole something. And I can't remember which country it was, but I think maybe Germany. Then you've got other countries, like in the 1970s, right? Iran was just like everybody else, walking around in bikini shorts, fucking shirts, just hanging out, chilling out. And then Islam religion made its way into Iran from Iraq. And yes, it's Iraq and Iran, because that's just kind of how it's said. Like met people from there, that's how they speak. And the religion takes over everything, and the police deal with you on that level. Seriously, on that fucking level. You do something, if you're a male, you'll get a warning. If you're a female, you get stoned to fucking death. It's just not okay. Like, you don't see Christians running around and doing anything violent when it comes to their religion. They're just going like, you know, how do I put this politely? They're just very chill people as well and stuff like that. And they choose love, not not war. That's just them. So they're basically the religious hippies, is how I put them.
video say Allah forgives if you're sincere, but that idea doesn't hold up even in everyday life. Forgiveness always costs something. If somebody crashes into your car, the debt doesn't just disappear. Either the driver pays for the damage or you absorb the thousands of dollars in loss. Someone always carries the cost. Now apply that to justice. If a man committed murder, stood before a judge and said, "I'm truly sorry, I won't do it again," and the judge released him because he seemed sincere, we would immediately call that judge corrupt. Why? Because justice was never upheld. Yet this is exactly the Muslim's logic behind forgiveness, based purely on sincerity with no payment for the moral debt. The Christian God doesn't simply forgive because we are sincere. He pays the debt himself with the death of his son Jesus Christ, where justice is fully met and mercy freely given. That is why Christian forgiveness is
100. I'm not like a religious, in-your-face, over-the-top person at all. I'm me. I do me, and I talk about all sorts of different stuff on here, and I'm good with people coming up and chatting and whatnot. It's always pretty much an open panel here. Yeah, come up, hang out, chat, talk, whatever. And I just kind of like, yeah. I talk about shit. And
both morally
it gets heated sometimes, but that's my boys. That's just who they are.
coherent and eternally powerful. But watch what happens next. The Muslim raises a challenge he thinks will corner Cliff, but the response ends up backfiring in a way that he didn't expect.
Okay, but how do you know the mind of God? How do you know that God says what you just said?
Because God gave me a book with that information.
What's the book?
The Quran.
The Quran. Okay, why do you trust the Quran to tell you the truth about God?
Because the Quran is factual in many places, but it's ambiguous a few places, and I believe that. Because I see the authenticity of the Quran. You can't show me two different versions and say these are both from God. I only see one version. When I see 10 different versions, I question it. Coming from God? How do we have 10 versions? Did God write this, or did the believers of God write this? Did they change it? But when I only see one version, and I can show you the change of authenticity.
Okay, and to be absolutely clear, right? Like, I've done my research on this. It's amazing their Quran the way it is, right? It's written in Arabic, but there are so many different versions out there where they leave out the important parts, like if you steal, you lose a hand. If she looks like certain way, or they get looked on and it's not a family member, like if she shows an ankle in public, she's going to get fucking stoned to death. And it's kind of, it is very male dominated. If a woman goes to a mosque and seeks the imam and goes, "He's beating me," this dude literally turns around and goes, "Do better." And this is a case that I've actually talked to with a friend. She was said person. Her husband was not the nicest guy in the world, as you can imagine. He was out cheating, out doing whatever he wants, right? And they spoke to him. He went home and he kicked a whole baby out of her. And there were no consequences for him. None whatsoever. Zero consequences. She was shamed, etc. So, because she was my mate, she knocked on my door, asked for help, and she got it. It's kind of sad that she had to come beaten, bleeding, nearly dead, and knock on my door. She'd ruptured and had, it was bad, man. But that was years ago when I was younger, and I even thought back then, this is fucked up. You can't be doing this shit to people. Like, your God, or your, whatever his name is, Muhammad, was a pedophile, number one. But put that aside too, that entire Quran is like a Nazi death camp where the Nazis are in charge. That's what it is, man. That is exactly what it is. And you all need to kind of step up and go, if they're practicing their religion peacefully, doing their own thing, I don't give a fuck. But the second that they start trying to invade my country and make my country like theirs, nah, not going to happen. And these two smart-ass girls I petitioned to get sent back to fucking Iran because they were just preaching and saying how wonderful it was. Mind you, they were dressed in fucking skimpy clothing. So it wasn't my petition, but somebody else got them fucking the attention of the people that needed to know. And because they were backing a terrorist, they both got packed up and sent home. And we'll see how fucking smug they are. I doubt very much that they're even still alive, to be honest. Because, like, you shamed your uncle by dressing like a hoe.
And I believe in it.
Uh-huh.
It's
Come
violence.
on, you're smart enough to have heard about Zaid bin Thabit. You know very, very well why there's one version of the Quran, I hope. Okay? You know what Uthman...
There are so many different versions of Bibles as well. There's like... Yeah, there's a lot going on in the world, and it's just fucking... I'm so glad I live in the country, man. I don't have to deal with people at all. Like, last time I went to the city, a friend of mine grabbed me by the scruff of the neck and went, "We need to go because you're about to start a fight, like a proper brawl." And I went, "Well, the dude being a fucking mouthy little
Caliph Uthman did.
What did he do?
He destroyed all the forms of the Quran that disagreed with the one that he chose through Zaid bin Thabit.
Thank you.
How are you going to prove that?
Which is historical fact. Just study history. You know very well that the third Caliph, Caliph Uthman, had all the different Qurans that weren't identical gathered together, and he said, Zaid bin Thabit, you are the one to decide what is the real thing, because you're the best source of information. Fine. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But I got a real intellectual problem with you. Oh, sorry, just study your history.
Mm-hmm.
You're wrong.
Well, then you haven't studied it closely enough, because Zaid bin Thabit was hired and employed by the third Caliph, Uthman, to do that.
Compile the Quran, to bring it into writing, to bring it
It
together.
already had been in writing, and there were different forms of it. And Caliph Uthman said, you go out and you're going to make the real one, and we're going to destroy the other ones. It's a historical fact, sir. Don't take it from me. Study the history. Pardon?
Who defines historical fact? Do you define historical fact?
No. The eyewitnesses. Are there eyewitnesses who recorded what really happened? And that really happened.
Where are the eyewitnesses?
Well, obviously they're all dead now. The same way the eyewitnesses for Jesus Christ are all dead now.
I have to take your word for it.
No, you don't have to take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. Go out and study it on your own. Do not take my word for it. You'd be an idiot, sir, to take my word for it.
Exactly.
Don't do it, okay? Just be open-minded and honest and study this history.
The Muslims' argument is self-refuting. We have many Bible translations because we possess an enormous amount of manuscript evidence. With over 35,000 manuscripts to compare, scholars can trace the original wording with remarkable clarity. Multiple translations do not weaken the Bible, they strengthen our confidence in its accuracy. The Quran, in contrast, comes from one man, Muhammad, in 7th century Arabia, in one language, Hijazi script Arabic, and it was later compiled into one book under Caliph Uthman, who burned all other versions that contradicted the one Muslims use today. If the Quran was truly God's perfectly preserved word, then why were there so many differing versions in circulation that opposed each other? The Bible, on the other hand, was written by more than 40 authors across 3 continents over 1,400 years. Yet it carries one unified message, that Jesus Christ came in love to die for sinners. This makes the Bible manuscript evidence.
Okay, so getting rid of that. I'm gonna bring something up because somebody just sent this to me. Don't know what it is, but we'll soon find out.
Children, pensioners walking in the park, somebody going to the gym, somebody going into a supermarket have been physically assaulted.
Yep.
A man went to the gym, someone said, we're going to hang you by your turban. Now, is this the Britain we want? That one person commits murder, belongs to any community. Does it mean the community are responsible? It's the very community that we're reporting into the police, and the police arrested him, but didn't do anything for the last 3 years. His neighbours saw him with a firearm in the back garden. What was it? The police said, we have no record of it. So if politicians can take the sad occasion of the death of Henry to promote hate.
So I don't know if you've all been keeping up with it or not, but a white man got stabbed repeatedly, and the Muslim turned around and called the police and said, he verbally attacked me, racially attacked me, called me all sorts of bad names. So basically this dude just got hurt in his feelings. And then he's turned around and gone and played the victim. They've gone and arrested this man, and this man has died. He'd been stabbed multiple times and died. This is why UK are they're standing up. They've had enough. And I'm sorry, but if you've got countries like Sweden, Finland, Denmark, Switzerland, etc., all saying the same thing too, they're going, I'm sorry, but no, facial coverings are not going to be happening here. We need to be able to ID you. So they're the most tolerant countries in the world, mind you. It's disgusting. This is a monster for sure. This guy here, he's the one that caused all the problems that's happening in the UK right now. It was going to come to a point, but this guy just took it too far.
Vikram Digwar selecting his swords at a Sikh martial arts event in East London. The video shared with Sky News was taken 2.5 years before Digwar went on to kill teenager Henry Novak. A death which the Sikh community believe might have been prevented, given they'd already raised concerns about him to police.
Where this is actually going is we have been thrown under the bus and our sacred Kirpan has been called into question.
With Sikhs across the UK facing a backlash following Digwar's conviction, political lobbying at the highest levels is underway in the UK and from India, with calls for a public inquiry.
The reason why we've called for a public inquiry is the only way to get to the truth surrounding this whole affair so we can learn the lessons and to learn whether actually Henry's life.
Okay, I just need to clarify something I just found out, sorry. The Sikh religion, Sikhs, they are not Muslims apparently. Sikhism is an independent religion founded in the 15th century in the Punjabi region of India, distinct from Islam. So, yeah, I'm sorry, mate, but what you just sent me made no sense. Like, I love you and all, but I'll talk to you later about all that sort of shit. But this, no, this is not cool.
Could have been saved.
Which you think it could have been?
Absolutely, because if the police had acted on the reports to them, the CPS had taken this seriously, Digwar could have been off the streets.
In 2023, Vikram Digwar had been reported to police by his local Gurdwara, or place of worship. We've spoken to the person who says they lodged the complaints over what they describe as safeguarding and the theft of weapons.
Like, I want access to these records where they're disowning him now because they don't want to take the heat. It's kind of too late. And I'm sorry that all of these people who practice peacefully the whole Sikh religion are now copying that backlash, as well as a lot of people are angry at Muslims and they see these guys. Now, they've all got different colored turbans. They all carry ceremonial swords, etc. and stuff like that. Yeah, they do that. But in saying that, I grew up in Queensland. And in Queensland, we had a lot of Indian Sikhs running around. And our neighborhood was kind of safer for it, to be honest. I could let my girls go out and hang out with their friends and stuff like that. And I know that, there was no problems in that neighborhood. Like, between me and my brethren, I'll put it like that politely. And then, yeah, people were looked after. But I'm still failing in my mind to understand why they did not know that this kid had been stabbed when they arrested him. Hate speech and shit like that. They go, you got freedom of speech to a point. Like, there was a cop in America. I'm trying to find it. I can't find it right now. I'm very unorganized. I'm sorry. I've been sick. He actually got, like, his boss was sheriff of somewhere, and he's Muslim, and all of his co-workers are Muslim. And they used a book against him, a book that was about somebody who was from the Muslim religion and they turned to Christianity. And they said that made him unfit to serve. So you all need to sort of widen them eyes up and just kind of get some people and get these people out of positions of that sort of power, because, yeah, it's going to come bite y'all. Sharia law is not far away from anyone. Sorry, my lighter's not working. But, yeah. I don't know where you're from, but where I'm from, we all speak our fucking minds.
We've revoiced their words.
I was really deeply concerned and made the reports to the necessary people and also chasing them as well. It really did impact me for a long time, his behaviour. He is a monster. He's not at all representative of Sikhs in our eyes.
In response, Hampshire Police told us police followed up all available lines of inquiry and arrested 2 men in their 20s on suspicion of theft. On the basis of the evidence which was made available to the police, no further action was taken against these men. The Sikh community prides itself on its peaceful integration into British society. But since Digwar's trial, it's been subjected to a torrent of hatred online and at this Gurdwara in West London on the phone.
We have got nasty, poisonous phone calls received in our office yesterday by a number of people saying nasty things about our religion.
What do they say?
They're calling Sikhs murderers and using very dirty, foul language against us.
Just literally hearing the phone ring there, how does that make you feel now? Are you on edge?
It is on edge because when we pick up, is this another phone call that's going to be swearing at us?
In the West Midlands, police are treating an attack on 6 members of a Sikh family as racially motivated. This 72-year-old man was left with a broken cheekbone and fractured shoulder. He and 5 members of his family were punched and kicked to the ground, the Sikh Federation believes because of Digwar's actions. Theirs is a visible faith, and whilst some Sikhs tell us they're staying indoors out of fear of abuse on the streets, it's led these men, in the face of internet threats, to stand guard outside their Gurdwara.
Gurdwara has been described as a place where the ideology that Digwar carried is being indoctrinated into the youth. That's as far from the truth as you can get. When people start to fan these flames of division, fire can spread in any direction.
The Sikh community is fighting back, believing it's being punished for the actions of another and viewed with
Sorry, got sidetracked. It happens.
suspicion in a way they've never been before.
So, yeah, they're saying that he's a Sikh, he's not Muslim, but it's kind of getting to a point where we're all going to have to stand up and we're all going to have to fucking make a choice. But yeah, it is what it is, as they say. Oh, look who's on. It's Mr. Faggoty Faggoter. Sorry.
We can't legalise it. It's not going to legalise itself. We can't expect the legalised cannabis group to do everything themselves, and we're the active consumers. We're the active beneficiaries. Beneficiaries of legalised cannabis is me, because I get to sell my genetics legally, and I don't have to do crime. I don't have to sell it under the table, which I don't. Keep my nose clean. I've never got, when I sell my genetics, when they can hit the market, right? I want it to be 100% legitimate, and I didn't get it by crook ways. I didn't sell weed to build my empire. I put the hours in, and I started you and your channel off as well.
Off you did.
Same time.
This shit.
But don't forget that. If you want to know what I've done, whatever you do, if I've started your channel, whatever you do, that's what I've done.
I'm going to mute this faggot for a minute. His mouth, I'm not playing with that shit. No. He literally told me somebody I loved and cared about doxed him and his entire family. I'm sorry, but that's an absolute fucking lie. 100,000% a lie. What's he doing? He's frozen. I'll refresh the page. Jesus Christ.
I know somebody like you who's lived the life that you have, right? More stretched out, figuratively speaking, more worn in, had a rough life. I get it. Get your situation. I did actually, I think I remember you. Do. AGM, like I said, sitting on my channel today, commenting on how many people trying to convince them, say, come and subscribe to me. Come and subscribe to me. I'm AGM. Or come to, what are you doing? Just, talking trash about me. You serious? And he's talking trash about someone who was on the campaign trail with me while I was on the street getting votes. Doing.
No, sorry. Okay, this guy's just such a fucking idiot. I can't stand him. Basically, he runs his mouth 24/7 about people that I love and care about, and you all know that I don't really like that. I really don't like that at all. I'm not the one for the bullshit when it comes to that shit. Nope. You don't get to talk about my friends like that. You get to talk about my family like that. So yeah. This wanker thinks he's better than everybody else. His way is the only way. The whole entire 320 community... Dude, I'm everywhere at the moment, I'm sorry, but the whole entire community fucked up in his eyes. Me? These are fucking awesome people. I'm trying to find... Let's have a little bit of fun. I'm going to end this one and start another one, just so you're aware. Yeah, I got to restart. All right, bye.